What's going on, guys? It's Teshosphere, and I am right back in it with another live match commentary from the 3v3 case tournament at GalaxyBusterTCG for Justice Hunters. The question of the day today: what is your favorite summoning mechanic? Personally, I think I'm an Xyz guy. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the video. We do have Blake on the right, and on the left, I don't think I caught who that was. But regardless, players are offering... Oh, is that Hunter? Is that our boy Hunter? Who rolled an 11, if that's the case. Versus 8, so that is higher. I'm pretty bad with faces of people I don't see very often, so I'm going to refer to the person on the left as Hunter going forward, but if it's not Hunter, I apologize. Alright, Hunter is going to start things off with the normal summon of Rosin. Blake considering that Ash Blossom and decides to utilize it, so Rosin will not get to search. We're going to go ahead and link that off into Rock of the Vanquisher. And Rock... Oh, whatever it was, whether it was to add or summon, that is going to be met with an infinite impermanence. And we just pass it over. The top deck of Fualos, unfortunate, but we're going to see what we can do. We do have... it looks like Hornet Drones, Surprise, and I didn't quite catch what else. So we are playing Yummy over here, and we do have the ability to normal summon that Fualos and make an Almirage if that ends up being the play. I don't think Hunter has anything actionable. Yeah, Rock could summon Caesar Valius from hand as a defensive option, but definitely don't have the attributes to really do anything. So that's not going to account for much. Hornet Drones was accidentally in the extra deck for one reason or another. No problem there. It happens. Make our token. And, of course, the token is going to get converted into a Kagari, which is going to add back the Hornet Drones. In response, we're going to go with Rock of the Vanquisher. Oh, it was another Rosin. Okay, so Rosin's going to try to search here, so we actually do have plays. We're going to go ahead and chain the Hornet Drones to the Rosin effect to search. Going to grab out Holly Sue. So Holly Sue can summon herself, revealing the Caesar Valius. But our only attribute then is Earth, right? So not really anything to do there. I guess maybe we're just playing for the next turn. Caesar Valius returning the Rosin would give us Earth and Fire in hand for Caesar, but I don't know that that does anything, right? Regardless, Cupsy Wupsy Synchro version is going to go ahead and hit the board. It's going to add Lalipo and main deck Cupsy Wupsy, discarding the Fualos. Going to go ahead and special summon the Lalipo. And it looks like we're considering linking that off, but maybe we don't go straight into that. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and special summon the Cookie first. So now we're going to go ahead and link off into the Snatchy, which is going to allow us to access the field spell. Inherently summoning the Cookie first, I think, makes sense here, because in case any funny business happens, such as the Rosin effect to pop, you do have something to synchro off the Snatchy with. Maybe he doesn't play... Well, actually, even if he played 3s, the synchro is a tuner. And there's no 3s that can use the Link 1 as a tuner, so... looks like regardless, we're going to go ahead and use the field spell to get Cupsy back from Grave. And then that is going to perform a search of the Yummy Surprise. Alright, so... we have another Linkro summon, this time going into the, I believe this is the Lalipo Yummy way. And it looks like that's going to Yeah, get us into another set of monsters there. So these are all really beefy. Everything on the field right now on the side of Blake is gaining 2,500 attack. So between the 4 monsters in attack position, even if their original attack was 0, we're looking at 10k damage. That's over the Rosin's, I believe, 1,800 attack in the Rock is at 0. However, the Caesar Valius hitting the board would make this not lethal. Unless we get something with that Cup C out of defense into attack. But yep, we're just going to go ahead and go into another Snatchy. Which means now, even through the Caesar Valius, everything is quite large, and we are threatening lethal here. So, yeah, there was really nothing to be done about that one. Pretty quick game 1 there. As you can see, Yummy truly has no problem putting up tremendous amounts of damage in very short order. Yeah, just unable to play through the Ash plus Imperm. Had you had access to your Canine engine there, then maybe you would have had some more pushes. But just what you had, you did draw one of the quick play bricks, the Force Liberation. So didn't really have the extenders you needed, and Blake was able to just put up massive damage. So I don't really think that that was a quick one because of like a misstep or any kind of skill issue there. I truly think it was just a unfortunate circumstance, which happens sometimes in this game. Regardless, all you can do is move on to game 2, which it looks like we are putting in cards like Anti-Spell Fragrance. I did happen to notice that in the stack of cards. I would expect that these Charmies and possibly the Azunas might be coming out. The Azunas aren't bad in terms of just being good attributes, but it kind of depends on whether you get ashed again, that they're even going to be live. There's a good chance that the Azunas just don't see any action. On the other hand, going first, they're probably fine. I think they definitely come out going second. Going first is a bit more questionable. On the side of Blake, as far as sideboarding, if you weren't main decking the Chummies, those definitely come in, although you were probably with them in the main. Going second into Canine Vanquish Soul, though, it's really hard to have a good side plan because not a lot of breakers are very good, with the exception of stuff like Evenly Matched. And I found Ultimate Slayer to be pretty decent as well. So if you're on either of those might be coming in. But if you're on like the sort of like Triff style, just straight up hand traps build, then you probably don't change up too much from what you had in your main deck. So it looks like we went ahead, shuffled, offered cut. Let's go ahead and see if game 2 yields a different result. Do we get ashed impermed again? Are we able to play through it? Looks like we do have Mad Love, Holly Sue, a couple traps to set. So even if we do get our turn skipped once again, I mean, we have some defenses. Those are really good defenses too, with the Anti-Spell Fragrance and the Dimensional Barrier. We could potentially skip 2 turns. But regardless, we're going to go ahead and start off with Dr. Mad Love. This is going to grab the Field Spell. Activate Field Spell, effect target Mad Love. Does that met with something like a Ghost Ogre? It is not. Already having the Holly Sue in hand, I think we might end up adding something like Jiaolong maybe if we want to try to push into some rank 5 plays. Looks like that is the consideration we're making. What would be the other good option? The thing is, like, Holly Sue isn't going to have good attributes with anything else, so I do think Jiaolong's just the play. Because even if you grabbed, like, Caesar Valius and then went Valius, put the Sue back in, or not the Sue, the Mad Love back in hand, Holly Sue would still then just only have Dark to reveal, so... I think the only other thing you could maybe do is prey on a border draw. I'm not sure what attribute that is exactly. What's the attribute for the Borger draw? It's a dark, so Borger could bounce the Mad Love back, grab a draw that way. We're not doing that, though. We're grabbing the Xiaolong, and then Rock of the Vanquisher is going to go ahead and add the Mad Love back to hand. Holly Sue is going to reveal Xiaolong to summon herself. And now we have a fighter and a dark to reveal, which is going to allow us to special summon from deck. I definitely think this was the play over the Borger. Just grabbing that Xiaolong. For sure. I'm going to go ahead and summon Rosin, and then Rosin is going to attempt to add any other Vanquish Soul monster from deck to hand. This might be where you go for the Borger. And that is exactly what we do. So we grab the Heavy Borger. We now have Xiaolong, Mad Love, and Heavy Borger in hand, which, if I'm not mistaken, that's 2 darks and a fire. Xiaolong is going to trigger here, I think. Is that what this is? Because something was revealed to... No, because Rosin doesn't reveal. Okay, so for the search, Rosin, I think, is revealing here to activate its Battle Destruction effect, just to trigger the Xiaolong to make it live to summon. Is that maybe what's happening here? Okay, yeah, I think that's exactly what happened. Rosin just revealed the Xiaolong just to activate an effect with a reveal so that Xiaolong was online to summon itself, which, of course, puts our rank 5 plays online. So now we can go to the Ripper, and Ripper is going to search any K9 card, detaching the Holly Sue, it seems. Because Blake has not activated a monster effect, we don't get the set of the Quick Play spell in addition to the search. But we're probably not terribly bothered by this. Looking at her hand with Mad Love and Borger, that makes Jokel not a proper extender. So we're just going to go ahead and grab the Azuna. Might be just valuing having the Earth attribute, I think. So now Borger is going to bounce the Rosin back, summon itself. And we're going to go ahead and reveal the Dark to draw a card. So this makes sense to me because on the next... Although we draw a Holly Sue, that's crazy. I was going to say on the next turn, Rock could just add the Holly Sue back to hand, so that way that is online, but that won't even be necessary. We could use Rock to special from hand if we need to. We're going to go ahead and go into stake, revealing the other Holly Sue. Get us into the QCR Caesar Valius. Very nice. A man of class. We're going to set the anti-spell and the D-barrier, and then we're going to go ahead and set the Snow Devil off of start. And to resolve Stake Your Soul, Caesar Valius is going to go ahead and return to the hand. To resolve Stake Your Soul, Caesar Valius is going to go ahead and return to the hand. No? No, we're going to forget to do that? Okay. Okay, so we're not resolving Stake Your Soul. That's fine. My guess is that we've threatened battle phase here, and that's why we're frantically searching our back row for any options. We're going to go ahead and do the D-barrier and activate the anti-spell. This might be in the draw phase even, if anti-spell wasn't already flipped, now that I think about it. But I'm not so sure that we shotgun the D-barrier in draw phase 2. Unfortunately, there's a particular card in Blake's hand that anti-spell Fragrance is largely useless against, and that, of course, is the Evenly Matched. We're going to go ahead and activate Snow Devil here. My guess is that this is now when we've actually threatened battle phase. So we're going to go ahead and reveal 3 just to burn for the 1800. And we're choosing to destroy because we specifically want those things to end up in the graveyard, not banished face down. So this makes sense. We're going to go ahead and go for the Borger Burn. And we're going to go for the Evenly Matched. So we're choosing to keep the anti-spell fragrance. I think this is sensible, especially because the rest of Blake's hand is in fact green cards that will not be activatable in under the effect of anti-spell fragrance. So very unfortunate that we didn't simply have a normal summon there. And although even if we did, we do have the Holly Sue with plenty of attributes and hands to play with. So let's see here. We're going to try to leave main phase 2, which Holly Sue is just going to summon herself and then reveal the Fire and Dark to summon from deck. Gonna go ahead and grab another Rosin, which is going to grab another thing. Alright, let's see what we got. Are we able to just push game here? I find our chances pretty high. Our hand is pretty beefy with effects, so because of course now we can just go ahead and Holly Sue summon from deck once again. Looking at our opponent's grave here, we know it's the field spell, Valius, and Borger that are banished. Technically, I don't know if those are still public knowledge, but it's fine. We forgot to resolve Caesar Valius. That shouldn't even be in the pile, so I guess that is the trade-off. Or not resolve Caesar Valius, resolve Stake Your Soul. I am curious what Blake is considering here, because I don't know... That's not actually activatable. Anti-Spell Fragrance says until the end of the next turn. It's not like you can set them and then wait till just the next turn. It's like the end of the next turn. So any quick plays that you have set are still not activatable. I don't think this is a winnable position at all. Yeah, so I think that is a pretty clear Game 3 scenario. Unfortunately, we still see Anti-Spell Fragrance putting in absolute work. The D barrier there was just icing on the top, because even if we had a monster at best, we were setting up a Snatchy with the one body to try and play on the next turn. Fortunately, the Snatchy does place the field spell not to activate, so that does get around Anti-Spell Fragrance, if I'm not mistaken. But we just didn't have it, so it didn't matter. So now Vanquish Soul is going second into Yummy, and it looks like we're playing cards like Harpy's Feather Duster and Dark Ruler No More, which definitely makes sense. Even though they're not attributes, you know, they can be really decent, especially if you pair them with something like a Go Spell to handle the Yummy Surprise. You know, they can be pretty effective in the matchup. All right, shuffling up, going into game 3. Do we have what it takes to close this out? Does Blake reign victorious, or does Hunter put a stop to the Cup C world domination? We're going to start things off with the normal summon of Lalipo. No effect. Link off into the Snatchy. Effect. Mignon hits the field, and we're going to go ahead and use its effect to revive the Lalipo. No response here. Looks like in terms of hand interactions, we just have the Ash Blossom. This will likely be saved for the Synchro 2 Cup C. Does seem to be the case. No, that's the one that revives from Grave Buddy, and now Blake knows he has to play around an Ash. Very unfortunate we did that out of pure muscle memory. We're going to go ahead and activate the Ash now. Chain to tag out. So basically that entire interaction was absolutely free. And we were able to rip an Ash out of the opponent's hand. Looks like we kept the Fualos in. I wonder what the intention was there. Perhaps we just didn't have enough cards to side in that we felt good about, or yeah, I don't know. I can't think of a reason why you would do that, but we're going to go ahead and activate Thruster. That's crazy. Playing into the Ash on purpose to make Thrust live. Oh, we are setting Crush Card Virus. Now, I'm a little curious about this tech. Let's see here. Because it's my understanding that you have to tribute a Dark Monster. I wonder what he makes. Yeah, it's a Dark Monster with 1,000 or less attack. Is it just Anima? I guess Anima would be the one, or IP Masquerena. Which we are going to go ahead and go right into the Relinquished Anima. And what do we have? We have an Ash, the Dead Thualos, and I couldn't quite make out the other card. And we're just going to go ahead and go right into the Anima. Let's see, what exactly does the Crush Card Virus destroy? Opponent takes no damage until the end of the next turn after this card resolves. Also look at your opponent's hand, all monsters they control, and if you do, destroy the monsters among them with 1,500 or more attack. Then your opponent can destroy up to 3 monsters with 1,500 or more attack in their deck. So they're going to go ahead and do that, and then activate Stake, revealing the Shifter. This is going to be met with Ash Blossom. Link into Cupsy. And he just gives up. I don't know if they realized that Blake actually could not kill that turn, because it says your opponent takes no damage until the end of the next turn after this card resolves. So it resolved on Hunter's turn, and then so it would be until the end of Blake's turn that he could actually do damage. But I do think that there's a, when you only have a Shifter in hand, I don't think there's a top deck that beats the uninterrupted Yummy board. So I think probably if I was in Hunter's shoes here, I would also just scoop it up and go get some Taco Bell, which I'm guessing is what happened immediately following this play. That Crush Card Virus is a absolutely nasty tech. That's pretty sick, man. I remember liking the other one. I think it's Deck Devastation Virus against Malice was really good too. So Yeah, nasty play there, buddy. And you're on the Black Goat Laughs. I like this build, Blake. That's sick. But let me know why you kept Fualos in. That's actually what I'm really curious about. Anyways, I appreciate you guys checking out the video as always. I think we have 2 more of these to go from the series. We will get to those with the swiftness. I can't wait to see you guys on those. Peace.